afternoon to everyone, the participants of today's workshop series. My presentation will be planning, design and construction of Hokersar gates and regeneration of Hokersar wetland. Next, please. Hokersar wetland, a designated Ramsar site.
Can you,
Mr.
Zafar, can you enlarge your these slides? Yes, these are very small. Can you enlarge?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Full screen पे लाइए, full screen पे.
सर ये full screen ही था.
Full screen. Is it clear, sir?
हमारे वाले में तो थोड़ा छोटा ही दिखाई दे रहा है.
Yes, ऐसे ही है. सर आप थोड़ा उनका जो ये है सर उनको स्टेज पे ले आइए, उनके वीडियो को.
अच्छा, ओके, ठीक है. Got it. ठीक है, please go ahead.
Sure, sir. Hokersar wetland, a designated Ramsar site located near Srinagar on Srinagar-Baramulla highway, spans an area of 13.20 square kilometers. This wetland plays a critical role in the ecosystem as it serves as significant habitat for thousands of migratory birds, especially during the harsh winter months. Birds from regions as far as Siberia flock here, making it an essential site for wintering, staging, and breeding. The wetland ecological importance is understood by its ability to support diverse avian species, contributing to the overall biodiversity of the region. Next, please. The role of flood spill channel so far as Hokersar wetland is concerned. The flood spill channel plays an important role in maintaining the ecological balance of the Hokersar wetland. Flood spill channel originating from the river Jhelum near Padshahi Bagh, Srinagar. The channel follows a strategic route entering the Hokersar wetland near Zanarkot village and exiting just upstream of the Narbal bridge on Narbal-Gulmarg road. This channel is essential for replenishing the wetland, ensuring a steady supply of water, especially during dry months in the winter period. While the Hokersar wetland falls under the jurisdiction of Wildlife Department, the management of flood spill channel is overseen by the Irrigation and Flood Control Department of Jal Shakti Department. This collaboration between departments highlights the importance of flood spill channel in sustaining the wetlands' health and supporting its rich biodiversity. Next, please. Impact of 2000 floods and Prime Minister's Development Program. The devastating floods of September 2014 served as a critical wake-up call leading to the approval of flood management projects under the PMDP program, Prime Minister's Development Package. In phase 1 of the PMDP program, with an allocation of rupees 399 crores, the focus was on revitalizing the flood spill channel by enhancing its carrying capacity. Key interventions, including creating channels from Sharifabad up to Hokersar in Badgam district and at Naithai in Badripura district, removing blockades and widening narrow sections in the flood spill channel. So the main components which were executed in rupees 399 crores, which was, although it was for 6 divisions of Irrigation and Flood Control Department, so far as physically what it pertained to flood spill channel, construction of flood spill channel was constructed in Sharifabad. From Sharifabad up to Hokersar, it was for 5.5 kilometers in Badgam district and 1.90 kilometers in Naithai area of Bandipura district, making it a total of 7.40 kilometers. Embankments were constructed for 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers on east side at Sharifabad to Hokersar, and at Naithai 1.25 kilometers on either side, making it a total of 12.50 kilometers. A total amount of 47,000 trees were cut from Sharifabad to Hokersar and in Naithai area to pave way for the flood spill channel from Sharifabad up to Hokersar. Total of 1,700 canals of land was secured, 1,500 canals in Sharifabad, while as 200 canals were secured in Naithai area. 2 bridges, one at Sharifabad and one at Nice High. They were constructed under the same program by JKPCC through the funding of this PMDP phase first. The sectioning of the channel was also done with total of 1 lakh cubic meter earthwork excavation. Sorry, 11 lakh cubic meter of earthwork excavation. Following the completion of works in phase first, the Hokersar portion after this channel remained pending due to the absence of permission to proceed with Hokersar land. The permission was to be granted by National Green Tribunal with the split. When the department approached the NGT, the permission was granted with some riders. The rider was that 1.2 meter and average water column should be maintained by constructing 2 number of gates in the Hokersar at its entry level and its exit level. The same program was manifested in the flood management program phase second. The project included the construction of a drainage channel across Hokersar to enhance flood mitigation along with a pond and a diversion channel designed to remain functional during the lean period. So this channel and a pond, it was constructed in 2019 and 2020 under an advanced section of phase FMDP phase 2 part 1. A total of 54 crores were spent during that time for the construction of this 4.7 kilometers of channel and 2.3 kilometers of diversion channel, so that minimum water level as required by the National Green Tribunal will be there after the construction of the flood, this inlet and exit gates. The primary objective was to improve drainage by constructing a dedicated drainage channel across Hokersar. The whole channel. This effort aimed to lower the raised bed level, facilitating quicker drainage and preventing obstructions caused by siltation and weed growth. A significant part of this initiative was the construction of 30-meter unit all along the old alignment of FSC and Hokersar, stretching from RD 11.95 kilometers to RD 16.71 kilometers. This construction was crucial for flood mitigation and ensuring sufficient water drainage throughout the Hokersar wetland. Next, please. Legal and environmental permissions. The construction of drainage channel through Hokersar wetland required careful navigation of legal and environmental regulations. A key development occurred on October 2015 when the Supreme Court Green Bench granted permission for channel construction within the wetland, recognizing the necessity of the project flood management and wetland. So the former approval was granted by the government of Jammu and Kashmir Forest Ecology and Environmental Department in 2016. This order authorized the construction of the drainage channel, making a crucial step forward in the project implementation, with riders that minimum water level should be maintained in the wetland at any cost. The responsibility for ensuring the environmental integrity of the Hokersar wetland fell to the user agency, the Irrigation and Flood Control Department. As part of this mandate, the Irrigation and Flood Control was tasked with constructing entry and exit gates to maintain an appropriate water column within the wetland, thereby preserving its ecological balance while facilitating necessary drainage improvements. Next. Importance of hydraulic gates and compliance with the Forest Department conditions. To adhere to the conditions set by the Forest Ecology and Environmental Department of J&K government, the project included the installation of 2 hydraulic gates at the inlet and exit of Hokersar wetland. These gates are crucial in preventing the wetland from drying down due to the drawdown of water through the newly constructed and widened channel. The hydraulic gates were meticulously designed and subsequently vetted by the Chief Engineer Design Directorate of Jammu and Kashmir government. The drawings were released, vetted after thoroughly proof checking the structural design calculation for the gates in year 2021. These gates will play an essential role in maintaining an optimum water level in the wetland, ensuring the wetland ecological balance is preserved. Additionally, the gates, when completed and commissioned, will significantly increase the lane surface in agitation from 2 square kilometers to 7.5 square kilometers, thereby supporting the wetlands, biodiversity, and ecological functions, particularly during that dry period. Next. This slide shows the channels across Hokersar wetland and its feeding escape channels. The slide provides an aerial view of Hokersar wetland, showcasing the crucial water management structures via Google Map. Main channel in Hokersar highlighted in light sky blue. The main channel of 30-meter width extends 4,749 meters across the wetland. During flood events, this channel is designed to allow water to flow freely, thereby aiding in flood mitigation by channeling excess water efficiently. Then we have another feeding nalas, presented in yellow color. These channels cover a length of 10.76 kilometers in total. There are 6 to 7 nalas. They feed water to this wetland, maintaining essential water levels to support the wetlands biodiversity. Diversion channel constructed, which is shown in red color, and total length is 2677 meters of 20 to 25 meters width. This diversion channel is particularly important during lean period. When the gates are closed, this channel diverts available water to a crucial area of the wetland, ensuring that water levels are sustained even during dry spells of harsh winter. In addition to this, a retention pond marked in red with dimensions of 700 meters by 200 meters plays a critical role in water management. It stores excess water during period of abundance and releases it gradually during lean period, contributing to the wetland overall water stability. Next, please. The work was tendered in April 2021. It was the third time when it was tendered. The previous 2 times it was tendered, but due to one or the other reason, it didn't materialize. And the work was tendered third time in April 2021. The contract was awarded to Ghulam Nabi Mangre at an allotted cost of 28.45 crores against an advertised amount of 29.30 crores. The cost breakdown is clearly shown: entry gates, civil component, mechanical, electrical. Total cost is 12.29. Exit gate 12.58. Mechanical 3.18 crores. Electrical is 0.4, making a total of 16.16 for exit gate. Total amount for 2 gates is 28.45 on his allotted quoted gates. Next, please. The features of Hokersar gate, general features of Hokersar gate. Proposed bed level at entry gate, it's 1579.79 meters, 1579.37 is at exit gate. There's a drop of 0.50 meters. Width of the gates is 80 meters at the inlet as well as at the exit. Then we have plus 2 spillways on either side of the exit gate, totaling 37 meters. Number of bays in each gates in entry as well as exit is 16 numbers. Center to center distance of fires is 5 meters in both the gates. Gate size is 4.2 meters in 3 meters in the both gates. Mechanism of lifting, it's manual as well as rope and drum arrangement. Foundation footing is pile foundation of 600 mm dies, 20 meters bore cast in situ RCC piles, almost 300 numbers for both the gates. Pile capacity load is 45 metric tons in both the gates. Design discharge is 22,000 cusacks and 17,000 at the entry point of Patshahi Bagh. Then we have 5,000 cusacks of Dudhganga Nala, making it a total of 22,000 cusacks. Total amount is 12.29 for entry and 16.16 crores for exit gate. Next, please. The main job of this work was Initially, it was a very tough task because the area was always submerged. So main task was the pile foundation work. A total amount of almost 300 piles were drilled and installed, each with a length of 21 meters and diameter of 600 mm. Each gate pile has a pile group consisting of 6 piles. There are a total of 17 pile groups corresponding to 17 piles. We have 2 buildings. In addition to the gate structures, we have 2 buildings each, one at exit and one at outlet, inlet and outlet. For these 2 buildings, each pile group consists of 2 piles. In total, there were 14 pile groups. Comprehensive load test confirmed that the piles can bear the required load, ensuring the structural integrity of the foundation. Construction of pile caps. After the installation of the piles, the following steps were undertaken to construct the pile caps. RCC pile heads were chipped prepared for pile cap by removing the bad concrete. Reinforcement bars were placed to enhance the strength and stability of the pile caps. Mass concreting was performed to form the pile caps. Pile cap configuration. As already said, each pile cap is supported by a group of 6 piles. Each building pile cap includes 2 piles. This process ensured a robust foundation for both the piles and the gates, providing necessary support and stability to the structure. Construction of piers. The construction of piers was a crucial phase in supporting the hydraulic gates encompassing the following steps. Formwork was set to shape the pier according to the design specifications. Concrete was poured into formwork to form the piers. The concrete was cured properly to ensure it achieved the desired strength and durability. Pier detail. 34 piers were constructed with 17 piers at each gate. The piers were meticulously aligned and strengthened to meet the design requirement and ensure stability. This process ensured that the piers provided solid and reliable support to the hydraulic gates. Apron and block apron. The construction of the apron, block apron was carried out simultaneously with other project activities. The work involved large-scale concreting operations were conducted to form the apron, glitches, and block apron. These were constructed to provide a stable and erosion-resistant surface around the hydraulic gates, both at inlet and outlet. ABN grate work was also provided on both upstream and downstream side of both gates. The simultaneously execution of this work ensured that the apron glitches or block apron were completely efficiently contributing to the overall stability and performance of the project. Next, please. Gate fabrication and installation. The fabrication and installation of the hydraulic gates were carried out with precision to ensure optimal performance. The hydraulic gates were not available in the valley. After thorough survey, they were not available they were available, but not to the satisfaction of the department. So the contractor was advised to go outside and look for better option. The hydraulic gates finally got fabricated in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh. This involved meticulous design and construction to meet project specification. After fabrication, the components were transported to the project site. The gates were installed with careful attention to alignment and functioning. This includes positioning the gates accurately at their designated locations, ensuring the gates were aligned properly to facilitate smooth operation, verifying that the gates functioned correctly and met all operational requirements. The precise fabrication and careful installation ensured that the hydraulic gates performed effectively and met the project's structural needs. As already said, there were 2 buildings constructed one at each side. inlet as well as exit. The construction of building at both the entry and the exit gate was executed concurrently with other project activities. Key details included this building served as a control room for operating the hydraulic gates and house essential generators, equipment, and the operating staff. Construction details, as already said in the piling slide, the building pile cap were constructed using 2 piles each, ensuring a robust foundation for the structure. These buildings are of critical for the operation and maintenance of the gate and support the overall functionality of the project. Next page. Throughout the project, regular testing and partial commissioning activities were conducted to ensure that all systems were functioning as intended. Periodic testings were carried out to evaluate system performance and functionality at various stages. Interim commissioning checks were performed to verify that the system met the required specifications and standards. The final commissioning phase is yet to be completed, but the ongoing tests have confirmed that the system was progressing towards full operational readiness. Next, please. There were few challenges faced during the construction of these hydraulic gates. One of the main challenge was frequent rainfall and site inundation, which led to the almost 5 to 6 months of delay of completion of this project. The construction of Hokersar gates was significantly disturbed by unpredictable heavy rains. Each rainfall episode led to the inundation of the gates, halting all ongoing construction. You can see the photographs which depict to show the quantum of the inundation during the construction sites. Restoring the sites to a workable condition after each inundation was a time-consuming process. These delays had a notable impact on the overall project timeline. Next page. Hokersar gates in operation. The final slide presents a short video illustrating the operational aspects of the Hokersar gates. The video demonstrate how the gates are lifted and controlled from the control room of the building. Shows the process of operating the gates from the control room, provides insights into the details and mechanism of the gate operation. The gates are, I'll mention here that gates are yet to be charged with water because some ancillary small works are still going on and are getting hampered due to the frequent rainfalls. The gates are yet to be charged, so video focuses on their operational setup rather than performance as yet. I will conclude my presentation with this video. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
हितेश, are you coordinating? या मनोज कर रहे हैं?
नहीं सर, मैं नहीं हूँ। I think
सर एमडी
it is-
जेजेएम का है।
हाँ, वही कर रहे हैं।
Okay, okay. So we have had both the presentations today.
Not yet. We have had only this one presentation.
Okay, okay, fine. And is Mr. Iftikhar Kakru also connected? The chairman?
Yes, sir, I'm there. I'm there, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I could join slightly late, but
Sir.
it is thanks to Iftikhar specifically asking why has the workshop series suddenly been stopped. Well, the reason was only this, that the quality of presentations or the topics which are being picked up were of a nature which looked like as if we are getting into the whole objective of the workshop series was to fire the imagination of people, take pride in the work that we are doing, showcase the work that we have done, and transfer knowledge from those who know to those who are the people who have joined the department in recent times, as well as are going to occupy senior positions in the times to come. So that purpose I felt was somewhere getting uh, defeated. Also, we were awfully busy with certain monitoring matters as well as the budget approvals and all those aspects. So, Iftikhar, thanks to you for reminding me that we should restart this series. Grateful to you. But now I was watching the presentation of this one, Zafar Saab ne jo kiya hai, and definitely something that will make a lot of things better understood by everybody who's connected. What is critical about this Okarsa presentation is that here is an intervention which is meant to actually revive something which we take pride in, which we are very insistent on saving our environment. And this is one particular project which tries to do that. And that too by a civil structure, an intervention of this nature. So I hope that we are able to do it well, launch it soon after the elections are over, and hopefully its positive impact is visible to us in the coming days. So if nobody else has anything else to say, then Manoj, if or JJM, whoever is coordinating, has gone to the next presentation.
Just one comment to make, sir, if you permit me.
Yes.
Sir, the department has been continuously saying, and I think not the right approach, that we have planned these gates on the instructions or the intervention of the NGT. See, the word of NGT is not gospel truth. It is, after all, it's an advice. The department should instead say that these gates were important or necessary from the flood management point of view or from the preservation of focus cell. So in this presentation, as Zafar was indicating, the driving force for the gates was referred to as the instructions of the NGT. I would like two things, two suggestions. One is that, let us correct this narrative. Okay, the direction was there from NGT, but the department has also, done its homework with regard to the requirement of these gates. Two is, the presentation was lacking in the engineering aspects, as if no layout plan was shown, or the features of the design, what kind of design was adopted and why was that adopted. That is also lacking. And three, we should also have some kind of a model, a virtual model, wherein we show how the gates will function in terms in the event of rains, in floods, and then how the diversion tunnel will work, how it will inundate the or it recharge the wetland, and how the entry gate will function, how the exit gate will function. And this presentation, even if, because this is a very important structure that we have made, the department has made, and the department should take pride in this. We should be able to have this kind of model, so that whenever the inauguration takes place, or whenever this is to be finally discussed with the higher authorities at the time of inauguration, we should be ready with some kind of model that shows how it functions. That's all. Thank you.
Sir, if you permit, then we can start second
Zafar,
presentation by.
Zafar, I would request, see, it would be worthwhile कि हम जो पर्पस था, जो मैंने वर्कशॉप सीरीज का पहले भी पॉइंट आउट किया, प्लीज मेक अनदर प्रेजेंटेशन, एंड दिस प्रेजेंटेशन शुड हाईलाइट how you have conceived it, how it has been planned, how it's part of PMDB project which is there of 1643 crores. Also, what are the engineering design aspects which are there? For example, if you remember one particular presentation which was regard to mechanical, and it was regarding the gates which was there, which was on Chenab, related to some lift diversion of something like that, and what kind of driving machinery or that should be used. So do bring in the engineering aspects. That would be really helpful. I'll give another example again from Manoj's area of irrigation side only, where he's looking at the possibility that we might have to create a ring bund while the Chenab water goes down, so that we are able to do a substantial repair. Right, Manoj? That is there. Similarly, यहाँ पर ब्रह्म का ये कहना है कि he's thinking of floating platforms. That's another one which could be of. These are things of interest where you clearly bring out the problem, then say what are the challenges, what's the area affected, or how it is impacting, and therefore where is the solution. In fact, मैं आप में से जो भी लोग हैं, हितेश और मनोज को ये चाहिए कि वे एक स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट थोड़ा सा बनाने की कोशिश करें प्रेजेंटेशंस का, so that the engineering aspects को we do not lose sight of. This is very important. ठीक है? Anybody else has any questions to make? Please go ahead. जैसे अब physics of pile foundation also something which should be touched in this, because there's no need to simply gloss over it. There's a logic to it. Why this depth? If you remember, Zafar, I asked you, why only 28 meters? Why not more? What is the likely resistance which will be created? Yes, sir. Other questions there? So these are the things which should be discussed in such presentations.
Sir, am I
And
allowed, sir?
at least so, if as and when this inauguration is ready to take place, please modify this PPT so that it showcases us, rather than trying to say that we are simply trying to do compliances. Right. Please go ahead, Zafar.
Sir, am
Sir,
I
we
allowed,
have-
sir? I am.
Zamil from
Zafar, कुछ कहना
Baraga.
चाहते हैं?
Sir, I am Muzammil from Wara.
हाँ, एक मिनट. जफर, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
नहीं सर, बस थैंक यू सर.
ठीक. Right. Grateful for the presentation. मुजम्मिल इसी प्रेजेंटेशन से रिलेटेड है या आप नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन?
Sir, इसी presentation related.
या थोड़ा सा ब्रीफली बताइएगा.
Sir, in fact, if we see the national platform or international platform, the procedure to present anything, any technical presentation is that it should be reviewed first. Before it is presented, it should be reviewed by 2-3 senior officers so that it becomes meaningful. Some
All right.
presentation is.
What I would suggest, Muzammil, is because abhi this is not the forum where I'll go into this discussion. It's already 5:15. आप ये जो कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग सेल बना है उसमें मनोज हैं और हितेश हैं, तो आप उनके साथ में इंटरेक्ट करिए एंड फॉर्मलाइज दिस प्रोसेस. ठीक है ना?
Sir, so that it
next
becomes.
presentation. Salim.
Sir, with your permission, we have another presentation from Mr. Salim Bande. Please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Good evening to all. My presentation is about flood protection works near Holy Cave. And my topic is challenges and achievements. The challenges we faced during last 2 years and the achievements we have done. This is the Holy Cave site plan. The yellow mark is Holy Cave. On its left side, it's Holy Amravati Nala, and its right to in northern side, it is flood channel. The flood channel length of flood channel is 200 meter up to the confluence point with Holy Amarnath. The track is also shown from this Pahalgam axis and Baltal axis. Holy Amarnath cave is situated at an altitude of 3,888 meters from mean sea level, and it is about 121 kilometers from Srinagar city. The place can be reached from Sonamarg or Pahalgam routes. The cave is located in Sindh Valley, is surrounded by glaciers, snowy mountains, and is covered with snow most of the year. Except for a shorter period in the summer when it is open to pilgrims. Being part of Himalayan region, the area near the Holy Cave is prone multi-hazards such as flash floods, landslides, mudslides, debris, etc. It is believed that disasters exacerbated by climate change. On 8th of July 2022, at around 5 p.m., flash flood took place near the Holy Cave. The unfortunate incident claimed many precious lives. The IMD claimed that the flash flood was triggered due to localized high density rainfall in the upper catchment feeding nalas. These are some photographs of July 8th, 2022. The cloudburst occurred at near Holy Cave at right side, and it went through the tenting accommodation, and many tents were washed away, in which many precious lives were lost, and the army authorities were pressed into service, and they took away the injured to the hospitals and removed the dead bodies from the debris. The analysis of flash flood. For the departmental engineers and later on through Central Power Research Station, Pune, it showed that 950 cusecs magnitude of flood was measured at that time. Then, sir, on the request of SASB Shrine Board, a DPR was framed comprising of many components for the estimated cost of 9.55 crore. First, removal of snow avalanche, which was occurred after the allotment of the work to the agency. Second, removal of heavy load deposition, including repairs to the existing crate work, which was done in 2022. Construction of RCC culverts at Holy Amravati and flood channel for the smooth passage of yatris. Construction of RCC guards on Holy Amravati. Construction of RCC channel near helipad at Lower Cave. Construction of flood protection on Holy Amravati. Benching of slopes on right side of Holy Amravati and left side of flood channel. And there was provision for accommodation for engineering staff and all that. It its amounts to 9.55 crore. The expenditure was done 9.35 crore. In 2022, sir, under SDRF, under the instruction of District Administration Anantnag, when the cloud burst occurred, the department restored did the restoration work by laying a flood protection work with an estimated cost of 41.93 lakhs. The works executed in 23-24, as I have already mentioned, there was a big challenge of snow avalanche that occurred between 22nd to 27th May 2023 after the work was allotted to the agency Messrs. Muhammad Afsar Kuche and Sons. Deposition of damaged crates and its repairs, and deposition of debris from flood channel in a length of 200 meters it was amounting to rupees 230 lakh. Construction of great work on both sides of Holi Amravati in a length of 850 meter on either side of the Nala. It cost 250 lakh. Construction of RCC channel 60 meter length, 118 lakhs. Benching of slopes by construction of retaining walls by way of great work with cement concrete coating injecting it in a length of 421 meters, costing 87 lakh. Construction of RCC culverts was done. Three number culverts were constructed there. One over Holi Amravati, one over flood channel, and one near lower cave on the RCC channel, which was constructed last year. Construction of ghats on Holi Amravati, we have constructed 4 number of ghats for bathing purpose of the pilgrims. Then allied expenses, as I already mentioned, to the execution of the work, that is 8 lakh. Next. Challenges in the execution of FP works. Sir, it was a tough terrain and at an high altitude of about 4,000 meters with limited access, harsh working condition, limited working window. About 5 hours a day, a labor can work. Erratic weather condition near cave area. Removal of unforeseen snow avalanche, which was occurred. It was a big challenge for the department, which hit the site in 23-24, and it was removed manually before the onset of Amarnath Yatra 2023. It was a huge channel for the department, and as per the instructions of higher authorities, it had to be removed before the onset of Yatra. And under the guidance of ACSR and SASB, we did the job before the onset of Yatra. We removed the heavy avalanche, which was comprising of heavy rock boulders, fragmented rocks, and it was done by 26th of June 2023.
Mr. Iqbal Singh, अपना mic unmute रखें. Please unmute your mic, Mr. Iqbal.
Removal of snow avalanche was done by 26th of June manually. Arranging of and there was again a challenge for the department, arranging of labor for execution of work, as there at that time there was no tracks for machinery to station there. So the whole work was executed manually. So that was a big challenge, and logistic arrangement for the gang and their deployment at the cave site was also a challenge for the department. There was a very less place for the tented accommodation, but we managed about 800 plus labors to accommodate in a very small space in tented accommodation. There was also a challenge for carriage of key materials from Baltal to the Holy Cave, because we have to lift the key material during night, as the yatra flow is during daytime. There was a yatra flow, and there was health issues for staff and labor also, because of circulation sickness, and it would not be out of mention that many of our staff members or labor were hospitalized at the cave hospital, or they were shifted to Baltal. And in this year 2024, on 15th of June, one of my field staff, he had some chest pain, and he was hospitalized and shifted to SMHS hospital Srinagar, and he was the 2 stunts, 2 stunts usko pade, और अचीवमेंट्स है, जो हमारी अचीवमेंट्स है, फर्स्ट ऑफ इतने लार्ज स्केल पे इट वाज अ फर्स्ट वर्क ऑफ फ्लड कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट एट ए हायर एल्टीट्यूड, mobilization, coordination, supervision, execution from all the stakeholders, including SASB, completion of FP works. Announcement in carrying capacity of flood channel up to 950 cubics in order to cater heavy discharge. Larger investment for disaster risk reduction near Holy Cave in terms of financial year. Permanent and durable assets created last year, they are in they are intact to sustain sub-zero temperature for. Next. This year, and another DPR was framed with an allotted cost of 2.61 crores, in which snow clearance from flood channel was there about 2,000 square meter. Two number guards we have constructed this year. Jacking and coping on crates was done. Construction of RCC channel about 150 meter in length to drain the water discharge from small ravines. Construction of prefabricated hut was taken into hand. The platform of which has been completed. The superstructure will be taken up in next financial year. Future study near Holy Cave for risk reduction. National Institute of Hydrology has been roped in to undertake studies on with identified broad objectives: identifying flash flood prone areas, modeling potential inundation extents, simulating flash flood scenarios, identifying mass movements, debris flows, and avalanche zones, assessing impact on population and infrastructure, developing risk maps, and proposing mitigation measures. There are some photographs. The first one was taken on 7th June 2023, when our sub-regional team went to site to start the work. They witnessed a heavy snow avalanche on 7th of June. Then the work for removal of this snow avalanche was started on 15th of June. By 26th of June, we completed this job, and with a Q-net cut of 3 meters in 3 meter width. Then construction of RCC channel. Construction of RCC channel at Lower Cave, drain the discharge, thus safeguarding tented accommodation pitched over there. In the 840 cement bags were utilized in this flood channel. 4,500 kgs of steel were used. The length of this RCC channel is 60 meter with a width of 3 meter and depth of 1.2 meter. These are culverts. As I have already mentioned, 3 number culverts we have constructed. The photograph with shuttering, it is on flood channel with a span of 7 meter and a width of 3.8 meter. The next one is 7 meter and width is 2.8 meter. It is on Holy Amravati. The third one is, it is not depicted here in the slide. It is at Lower Cave on the RCC channel which was constructed last year. Next. Total steel used in these culverts is 900 kg and 90 bags were utilized in these culverts. Construction of guards. 4 number guards were constructed last year. In guards, 200 number of crates were used in guards, and 2,240 cement bags were utilized in construction of 4 number guards. 2 guards are near upper cave and 2 guards are near lower cave. So, these are photographs of this year 24-25. The first one is the first photograph was taken on 2nd June 2024 when I along with my team visited site on the instructions of what the ACS. So the next one is during execution, and after execution, this is the shape of the flood channel. Actually, the sides were constructed last year with jacking and coping. It's a great work on both sides. After removing the snow this year, the final shape of the channel is like this. This is a drain constructed by SASB, but it was damaged on the request, on the instructions of SASB. We have strengthened it and repaired it. Next. The water from temple is coming from this drain and will submerge in the flood channel. Next. Again, we have constructed RCC channel this year. These are 2-3 channels in a length of 146 meter. It is near Holy Cave. It's also to train the discharge from small ravines. It will directly go into the Holy Amravati Nala. Thus safeguarding the tenting accommodation and langarwalas tents which are pitched near these channels. But these are guards. We have constructed 2 number of guards this year. Last year we have constructed 4. This year we have constructed one guard. We have constructed near upper cave, and other one is between lower cave to upper cave, just opposite to the cave, just opposite to guard number 2 that was constructed last year at the Palgam axis. Next. So this is a under construction prefabricated hut for engineering and supervisory staff. The platform has been done, and the superstructure will be taken up in next year. These are again guard. This is guard number extension of guard number 1. The previous was guard number 5. Next. So the plate facility made by SASB, but we have done only this just protection work on left, right, and its back side. Thank you. With this, I conclude my presentation.
My observation, again, what Iftikhar has said, I endorse his point that engineering details are missing. These are PPTs for the general masses, not for people who are engineeringly equipped, who have the ability to discover something on the basis of your presentations. क्यों इस जंग का बना है, क्या possibilities थी, what is the depth, what is the kind of support that you provided, etc., etc. कहाँ पर आपने स्पर्श लगाने की जरूरत थी, नहीं थी, क्या किया वगैरह, कुछ नहीं. This bereft of all that. What were the देखिए कोई बात नहीं, आगे से अभी मुजम्मिल ने जो बात कही थी, हितेश आप और चीफ इंजीनियर मिस्टर मनोज उस पर काम करेंगे. मुजम्मिल आप उसके साथ एसोसिएट होंगे इन लोगों के साथ में, और ये जो रिव्यू होना है उसके लिए आप कुछ पैनल रखिए, करीब 15 लोगों का या 10 लोगों का पैनल बनाइए. उसमें रिटायर्ड लोग भी हो सकते हैं, और जो अभी हम लोग वो भी हो सकते हैं। दूसरी बात, एमडी जेजेएम से रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी कि आई होप आप जितने भी कंसल्टेंट्स हैं उनको इनवाइट करते हैं वर्कशॉप सीरीज में। नहीं कर रहे हैं तो करना शुरू करिए प्लीज, इट्स ए मिस्टेक इफ वी डोंट डू इट। और कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग सेल से रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी कि वो इमीडिएटली देखें, ये 10-15 लोगों का पैनल बनाइए, मुजम्मिल विल बी वन ऑफ देम, बाकी लोगों को भी इंक्लूड करिए, सो दैट वी आर एबल टू हैव रिव्यूज ऑफ दीज थिंग्स एंड देन वी कम अप विद। आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट नेसेसरली हर एक प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बने, some things are merely informative, that's all right, but then at least at some places we should be displaying our engineering knowledge. Anyway, so how is this open to the house for comments? Anybody who has joined as a JE or AE in the recent times, if they have anything to say, I would welcome that. Well, in any case, Salim, it is a good work done, because the challenges there in Amarnath were of a very different nature. Mere existence of people there at that height, on top of that, the manner in which it will tire them out, and still somehow or other motivating them to be every day, and then working against very stiff timelines to be able to achieve completion of works. It's not an easy thing, particularly when it's a matter as serious as the Amarnath Yatra, because the Honorable LG himself last year was supposed to be there. And one of our senior colleagues is retiring today, Mr. Naresh. He was instrumental in ensuring that last year the Amarnath Yatra trek, I mean this final stretch, was free of all kind of avalanches, etc. And the trek was clear, and it was also safe for the people well in time before the Honorable LG went there, about almost a week before the day when the Yatra was to commence. So very good work done by the by the flood control department in the Amarnath thing, and also more importantly, it is a effort which is likely to lead to. It's not something which is temporary; it is of a permanent nature, and therefore will help secure those premises very well. So, others, anybody would like to say anything?
So one of the critical elements of this project is the study that has been assigned to the National Institute of Hydrology, because जो काम अभी तक हुआ है बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ है, लेकिन this is still work in progress. आगे expand होगा, because this is going to be a very big event J&K हमारे state UT के लिए, और इसलिए particularly with regard to developing these risk maps. Because we would in the future need more area to house the camps, to house the pilgrims, to house the staff. So this risk map development is very critical, or I think the department should actively follow up on the study assigned to the National Institute of Hydrology. Thank you.
True. And when Mr. Salim and Zafar was also sent by me there, and after that when I was discussing, one more aspect which we have to make sure is that we switch to mechanical equipment in a big way there. And we need to ensure that next time we do it, so that the deployment of labor and on that basis, yes, of course, the old way of doing it will always be the backup. But if the mechanical equipment can reduce the burden, that will be helpful. In this context, I have one suggestion to make. I would actually like a presentation to be made by the mechanical people who are in charge of various machinery related to earth moving machinery as well as dredging machinery and all these things. I would expect that a presentation will be made by Kashmir Mechanical Wing. They should come up with all kind of equipments that they have. What's the kind of work that they do, with photographs, with various other things. What is the utilization which is actually there of the machinery? Are we using them, not using them? What is the method in which we intend to? And I would like not merely this, that statement like this, and we are using it well, or we are using it optimally. फिर तो मैं भी 3 adjectives को add कर सकता हूँ. If we are engineers, then we better base ourselves on some figure work and some data, and prove from the data that what is being spoken is correct. I have been pointing this out for a long time because in government we have a tendency to keep on asking, but we do not have the tendency to utilize what we have to the fullest. In fact, I was toying with the idea, and I wonder whether how we can take it further, is that I would like to make the field open for all officers. Some kind of a award scheme, reward scheme, recognition scheme, where if they can point out the existing assets to be better utilized, or they can point out the wastage which is taking place, or they can point out, for example, dumping of pipe material which is there, which is not to anybody's knowledge, or for that matter, mechanical machinery which is being not repaired at the right point of time, the maintenance is not taking place, that is leading to damage of the machinery, and so on. So this is basically, if I was owning it as a private sector individual, how will I save my money? I want you all to have that kind of view. Please send your inputs on email, even if they are not worked out in detail. Send those inputs to the capacity building cell. That email should be flashed here and otherwise also sent on all the groups. I would like the capacity building cell to undertake this exercise and see what are the areas according to all our officers. If you want to be anonymous also, I'm fine with it. But if you have if you are wanting to be anonymous, then also indicates that you have a lack of trust in the people around you. That is certainly not the case. Nobody will be penalized for that. So I would expect that you will point out things where we make the best use of what we presently have. What are the assets that we have? What are the equipment that we have? That is one. I'll repeat. Mechanical side, Chief Engineer Kashmir will make sure that a presentation will be made. Number one. PHE Jammu has not made a presentation for a long time. I would like Chief Engineer PHE Jammu to select some presentation topic which is really interesting for everybody. It could be also related to the manner in which you are supplying water supply for Jammu is being met from various places you are doing it, etc. But this time, obviously, you will make sure that for that matter, I would like somebody, if somebody can make a presentation that why CPHE norms are 135 LPCD for urban areas and there are only 55 LPCD in respect of rural areas. And is 135 LPCD something which is too much? It's not something which is a real requirement, but far too much than what it is supposed to be. I would say that anybody would like to pick up such kind of topics, develop the idea, question things. See, we are one of the very few states in the entire country which are water surplus. We are not water deficit, nor are we having any kind of problems related to availability of water. Abhi pitla 2.5 mahina dekh liya. We are without water. We are desperate for water. But despite of that, the level of problems which are there in the rest of the country and ours, nothing. So if you think that anybody would like to contribute in policy making by coming out with papers, studying across the country how things are, studying outside the country how things are, what should be the measures that we should be taking? I would very much welcome that. To emphasize, this workshop series is meant to free us from the state-jacketed bureaucratic thinking and only merely execution of things as the orders are. It is meant to give you an opportunity to come up and speak out. Well, I have nothing more to add. Anybody else would like to say something? Okay, Riaz, please go ahead.
Sir,
Hello,
we're
sir.
having only these two presentations for today, sir.
There is somebody wanting to speak.
Sir, I am Irfan Hamid. I'm ADBL Mechanical PHE Groundwater Division. Sir, am I allowed to add one point to what you were just saying?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, the thing that I have noted in our works, like we are having a fixed 4000 GPH, the output of the production well, okay? So this contractor, he has kept his mind set on just providing 4000 GPH from the production wells. We consider that as a good well. But on the contrary, there are some wells which can yield more than that, which can suffice a larger population. But what is in the what we have in the NITs, what we have in the allotment orders, that the contractor is just fixed with the 4000 GPH. So this notion needs to be changed, and we should just force these contractors to just provide more water. That will be beneficial in the longer run. That will be, because sir, I have seen it myself in PHE groundwater division. I've been working here. I've seen that there are some wells, there are some production wells that are capable of delivering more than the required amount. That is 4,000 GPH. We are having wells which can supply 10,000 GPH, but the contractor is just fixed on giving
Good
4,000
point, Irfan.
GPH.
Let me ask, are there mechanical officers connected in this workshop? Anybody would like to respond to?
Sir,
groundwater
may I
division?
respond? Sir, may I respond?
Yes, but before that, Vivek, just quick point, and after that I'll give it to you. This is such a valid point. It implies that capacity building cell needs to note. It implies that we need to have a committee of senior officers which will look into the way we devise after our SBDs, standard bidding documents. And standard bidding documents पे प्लीज एक कमेटी बनाइए जिसमें कुछ रिटायर्ड ऑफिसर्स भी हो सकते हैं. See, to common sense it will appear that you say a minimum limit, say 4,000 GPH. But if he takes it beyond, then indicate that if he takes it beyond, then it will be allowed, or a certain percentage, maybe not at the same rate as it was otherwise, will be allowed. Because the point that he's making, Irfan is making, is, if we understand it correctly, is that if there is a resource which is being tapped and there's a capacity of that resource, then today 4,000 GPH might be sufficient, estimated on the basis of whatever. Tomorrow, it may be much more which may be required. And at that point of time, rather than going for a new well, it is better that we understand that the capacity of this particular well was much more. Or alternatively, suppose, for example, an industrial setup comes up there in some surroundings, then it's possible that we can say, all right, we have an additional capacity and therefore we can provide water for that. So very, very valid point. Essentially, it means that when we draft our contracts, how do we incentivize the possibility of increasing the marginal utility, or on some link the payments to the utility increase of a particular product? Part one. Number two, is there a case for reassessment, or is the science developed enough in this field that it allows us to make a assessment of the real capacity or the potential capacity of a well, either by digging deeper or by having additional water extraction? I understand that there are various measurements which are taken at different depths and the drawdown level, etc. These are ways and means by which the engineers are able to discover that what is the capacity of a well or the potential for increasing the capacity. So I would like to know that should we take up a project of this nature, this can be taken up under JJM. These 2 points is what I wanted to mention. Vivek first.
Sir, as in the SBD, the 4,000 gallons is the minimum requirement. We take whatever safe discharges available there. It may go beyond 4,000. We never deny it. We take.
But then what is the incentive to that guy to go beyond 4,000?
Nothing, sir, because that is not related to the depth of the drilling. The discharge available is not is directly proportional to the depth of the drilling, because we pay him as per the depth, per meter depth. That is what, and we take wells more beyond 4,000. 4,000 is the minimum requirement which we have kept.
Suppose
in the
you do an analysis right now.
Yes, sir.
How many wells are there जिसका आपने 4,000 रखा और actual discharge उनका ज़्यादा गया? What percentage of wells?
Must
do a
be
quick analysis.
We'll do that, but there must be many cases where we have taken 4,000.
Let us hear the groundwater. Let us hear the groundwater XCN Kashmir. Okay, he is not connected. भाई हितेश, मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा था, जो ऑफिसर्स कनेक्ट नहीं होते हैं उनका एक्सप्रेशन कॉल्स करिए. क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ये? और रियाज, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा कि मैंने आपको कहा है मुझे अटेंडेंस शीट चाहिए, वो क्यों नहीं आती है? This is the last time I am asking the organizers to be should collect this data and furnish. And Hitesh, without asking me, this is not a choice. This meeting is not by choice. This meeting is to be attended by all officers of JE above. That's what it is. And if anybody wants to ask an exemption, then that particular exemption will be granted only by the XCN, and that too after informing the JJM, which is coordinating this entire thing. Please issue a formal order in this regard, Hitesh. Okay. So we
Right.
do not have the exchange groundwater connected. Kashmir. What about Jammu exchange groundwater? Is he connected?
यस सर वो मैं
या
सर बोल रहा
बोधरा
हूँ सर
जी,
इसके
आप बताना चाहेंगे इस बारे
जी
में?
सर
कोई डेटा है आपके पास?
हाँ सर एक्चुअली सर इसके लिए जो हमारे पास जो हमने डिस्चार्ज जितने भी निकाले हैं सर वो हमने फिक्स किए हुए हैं इसके मिनिमम हैज बीन फिक्स्ड बट जितना भी वो बाहर से निकलता है कंट्रैक्टर कैन नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्ट दैट हम उसका जितना निकलता है उसके हिसाब से हम उसके अप टू 80% तक हम उसका डिस्चार्ज का हैंड ओवर कर सकते हैं और ले सकते हैं उसका जब उन्होंने एज पर डिस्चार्ज वो एज पर उसकी डेप्थ वो ड्रिल कर देता है कंट्रैक्टर कैन नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्ट दैट जैसे ये कह रहे हैं कि 4000 तक ही देगा वो ऐसा नहीं है सर जितना पानी निकलता है जैसे हमारे पास बलवाल एरिया में है 5000 हमने फिक्स किया था 5 से हमारे 15,000 निकला वहां और हमने 10,000 उसको टेक ओवर कर लिया ये रिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं कर सकता सर कंट्रैक्टर के
तो
चार्ज
मुझे एक
देना
बात बताइए, जब
जी
आप
सर
ये एक्स्ट्रा, एक तो ये मुझे डेटा चाहिएगा
जी सर
जिसमें आप कंपैरिजन ड्रॉ करेंगे दैट व्हाट वाज द जेजेएम विल डू इट, दैट कितने का हमने डॉक्यूमेंट में रखा था और एक्चुअल हमारे को कितना निकला, और जो एक्चुअल
Yes.
निकला है वो होना चाहिए ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द डेटा, not on the
Yes.
basis of what Bodhraj is saying acceptance. Please keep
Right.
3 columns to bring out very clearly that what was the scientifically कितना निकला और उसके बाद में आपने accept कितना किया. तो उसके बाद में now Bodhraj, to you the question is that
Yes.
what did you do this with additional gallons that you got? Did you do away with a surrounding tube well or so that we do not have to go for another tube well, instead of that connect and provide the water to another village?
Sir, we have not done that. Actually, that tube well is.
Why not? Because
that tube
I've
well is,
earlier also observed that RS पुरा में आपने हर गांव-गांव में बना दिया है, जबकि उसकी आवश्यकता नहीं थी. लेकिन वो DPR पुरानी बनी हुई है 2019 की, तो nothing could be done. But right now I can see the action also. Why can't you take up this exercise? कल ही मेरे को एक बहुत अच्छा सा वीडियो आया था जिसमें पानी निकलने का है. But अगर 10,000 गैलन एक्स्ट्रा है, so why not take up some surrounding villages around it and do away with the tube well requirement?
सर एक्चुअली जो
what
ट्यूब
we
वेल्स अभी
sir?
प्रपोज किए हैं सर
Yeah.
एक सिंगल विलेज के लिए तो वो जहाँ पे अगर वो पास हो तो ले भी सकते हैं उसमें अभी तक इन्होंने कंट्रैक्ट
Mr.
वो इंटरकनेक्शन करना
GM,
पड़ता है
MD and OSD needs to understand. And Rocky, what is your answer? You are the expert on this spot.
सर इसमें क्या है कि जो बलवाल एरिया है वो सारा हमारे पास ट्यूबवेल्स वहाँ पे बहुत कम है, हफ्ते हफ्ते पास फ्लाइज चलती है वहाँ पे सर. ये जो एक्स्ट्रा पानी निकला है इसमें हम ऐसा करेंगे कि सबमर्सिबल जो है वो ज्यादा कैपेसिटी का डालेंगे और जो बूस्टिंग करेंगे तो उसके हमारे पास जो पंपिंग आवर्स है वो रिड्यूस हो जाएगी, पीरियड कम हो जाएगा और पानी का हमें सरप्लस का देखेंगे सर, कोई एक्सप्लोर करेंगे कि
That's
कोई
not
और
the
एरिया
answer, Rocky.
हो सकता है.
Sorry, I don't agree with you. This is the typical thing कि पैसा ज्यादा आ गया तो बैंक पे डाल देंगे और बाद में खर्च करते रहेंगे, बाकी लोग भूखे बैठे.
इसमें
No. Hold on. Government, you know, hold on. Now,
Sir.
MD JJM needs to keep a watch on this on a regular basis. And to all the officers who are connected, everybody right from JE up to any level, please stop being afraid of anybody who is going to speak here. And इस पे कोई आपका एक्सीन कुछ बोलेगा, जैसे एक्सीन ग्राउंड वाटर हो सकता है, जेंटलमैन मिस्टर इरफान हमीद कौन है, उनको परेशान करें, बता दीजिएगा एक्सीन ग्राउंड वाटर को कि if such a thing comes to my notice, then you all know that how I will act against that particular exceed. So don't let that happen. Now, given that protection that is being provided in this entire process, you need to understand that Rocky, जो आप कह रहे हैं वो ये कि हम एक्स्ट्रा जनरेट कर लेंगे, उसके बाद में कोई पानी कम निकलता है, हम कम आप सबमर्सिबल डालेंगे. दिस इज वेयर द पॉइंट कम्स. आप सबमर्सिबल कम कैपेसिटी का डालते हैं, जबकि अगर आप सबमर्सिबल ज्यादा कैपेसिटी का डालेंगे तो it is possible that you are able to use this water, and rather than, because there is nothing like single village. This is a fiction that we have created. Our objective is to provide water. This is like saying कि साहब आपको एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना है, I'll take the bus. Don't say that. You say I need to be mobile. The moment you say I'm not taking a bus, I need to be mobile, then you open up the entire scope of any kind of transportation device. In the same fashion, आपको पानी देने से मतलब है, वो single village हो, multi village हो, that's hardly a point. And nobody is stopping you from redevising the things. अभी रिसेंटली जहां पर केमिकल निकला है इधर पुलवामा साइड में या कुपवाड़ा साइड में, कल ही डिस्कशन हुआ है जिसमें वी आर सेइंग दैट वी स्विच टू ए ग्रेविटी स्कीम एंड दैट टू थ्रू फ्रॉम वेशु, तो इसलिए हमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी उसके बाद में. So please, I don't understand. I don't agree with this kind of logic with both of you are giving, Mr. Bodhraj, in this, and therefore the consultant in that area is obviously not doing his work. The JJM is not doing their work there. Because if there is additional water coming out, then we should reduce our expenditure on the tube wells. What do you say, Mr. Bodhraj?
राइट सर, ये हम कर सकते हैं सर, इसमें कोई ऐसा नहीं पंप हाई
कर
कैपेसिटी
लीजिए.
डाल के दूसरे को दे सकते हैं सर.
एक राइजिंग मेन बड़ा डालना भी पड़े तो डालिए और कम करिए इसको. This drastically reduces the
Right.
O&M. This drastically reduces the subsequent various monitoring and all other aspects. Okay, करिए इस हिसाब से करिए. जी.
हो सकता है कि राइजिंग मीन एक्सटेंड करनी पड़े दूसरे विलेज के
We not
कनेक्शन के
discuss
लिए
it
इतना ही
any
होगा.
further. I think it was a very good point made, and the JJM needs to MD. Do you want to speak anything? MD आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. भाई मिस्टर
Sir,
MD
instructions have been noted down, sir.
यस
सर आवाज
बोलिए.
आ रही है?
जी.
सर हमने नोट कर दिया सर, जितने हमारे कंसल्टेंट्स विल गिव इंस्ट्रक्शंस टू देम टू जस्ट कीप एन आई ऑन दिस, जो भी उनका एरिया है सर.
बहुत वेग बोल रहे हैं आप, बहुत वेग बोल रहे हैं. This vagueness is not satisfactory for me. I am talking of government money being spent. Therefore, this vagueness is not satisfactory for me.
Sir, may I add a point, sir?
Yes, Vivek.
Sir, if we draw less water, suppose the discharge, safe discharge, they say is 8,000. If we draw less water, the source will be sustainable for more years. Is it so? Bodhraj ji zyada bata sakenge because the drawing is lesser than the safe discharge. So if we draw less, then and obviously, sir, the pumping hours will reduce because the requirement is less. If the requirement is 4,000 and we are getting 8,000,
I will reply to you that question myself, that it is nothing like this. Safe discharge up to any point, उसके ऊपर जितना भी होगा वो safe ही है.
सर उसमें अगर हम कम ड्रॉ करेंगे तो उसका सर सोर्स सस्टेनेबल रहेगा बिकॉज द एक्विफर विल नॉट ड्रॉ डाउन एंड बिकॉज द रिक्वायरमेंट इज लेस तो पंपिंग आवर्स कम होगा तो O&M भी कम होगा बिकॉज अगर 4,000 से सफाइस करता 8,000 निकला तो ऑब्वियसली 8 और 9 आवर्स पंपिंग विल कंप्लीट द सफाइस द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ दैट स्कीम.
No confusion. My directions were clear. I can tell you that no tube wells will be drilled unless and until this exercise is completed by tomorrow evening. All right. Has it been noted by Mr. Manchanda?
Noted, sir.
Yes. And Vivek and Mr. Bodhraj and the groundwater divisions and Mr. MD JJM and the consultants who have been amiss in their duties. All you guys need to get your act together. You have a day's time. Please see what is to be done. This, I have been speaking a lot about RS Pura area. I was told that नहीं साहब अब नहीं हो सकता है because अब हम जगह अलग-अलग टंकी बना दिए, अलग-अलग ट्यूबवेल भी ड्रिल कर दिए. But in these areas जहाँ पर हमें वैसे भी बहुत ज़्यादा failure rates का सामना करना पड़ता है, then why not make use of additional water? So this particular exercise one day. Apart from that, the data which I have said in a particular structured format with some analysis needs to come to me. Number 3, MD-JJM, you have mechanical officers, senior mechanical officers, as well as civil officers with you. One, they should always participate, but more importantly, I want them to do this analysis. We have done substantial savings of almost 1,000 crores by simply being wise. This is a typical example. By being wise, we can save something. So I would like this to be also done very quickly, and all these consultants etc. need to by tomorrow, because हमारे पास बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं है ट्यूबवेल्स के लिए टाइम वेस्ट करने. हमें ड्रिल लगातार करना है. इसलिए अगर कहीं पर हम बच सकते हैं और अपने काम को कम कर सकते हैं और 2-3 करोड़ रुपए जो भी अमाउंट है उसको बचा सकते हैं, we should do that. Okay? Yeah. Any other point by anybody else? मनोज, आपके पास में कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग सेल के जो भी डिस्कशंस होते हैं उसके रिकॉर्ड नोट ऑफ मिनट्स आपके यहाँ बनना है. I hope
ठीक
you
है
are aware about this. Yes, and Hitesh is also noting, and I will now add Muzammil to this team. आप तीन लोग हमेशा इन सबको देखेंगे और उसके रिकॉर्ड नोट्स बनाया करेंगे. This will be helpful to us for in the future see that what is to be done. Okay, जी बोलिए. Anybody else would like to say anything?
Sir, am I allowed to say, sir?
Yeah, बोलिए.
Sir, I have one point to add for mitigating the losses and wastages which you were discussing. It's a very good point as far as my perspective is concerned. I have seen many divisions where dead inventory is lying in the stores and live inventory, even some items which have been recently purchased but not in use, which I have observed in the visit of the divisions. Can we at the department level obtain the list from both chief engineers, Kashmir as well as Jammu from PHG? The total items pending in the stores which are serviceable and the items which are unserviceable, and the cost thereof for both.
Any response from Mr. Manjinder?
I do not get it, sir, what Muzammil said, sir.
He is
Sir,
saying that आपके पास में बहुत सारा डेड स्टॉक पड़ा हुआ है जिसका आप कोई इन्वेंट्री नहीं बनाते हैं और उस डेड स्टॉक को कैसे यूजेबल को अलग करना है और नॉन यूजेबल को डिस्पोज ऑफ करना है. ये कह रहे हैं.
and how much
Yes, sir.
cost? I believe it will
एक
be.
मिनट मुजम्मिल वेट करें. जी मनचंदा बोलिए.
सर स्टोर्स में डेड स्टॉक तो है, इन्वेंटरी भी है उसकी सर, सिर्फ डिस्पोजल का जो है इनिशिएट नहीं किया गया है काफी देर से सर.
There are two different aspects to it. Take the example of one of the exchange sitting here, Mr. Rocky Mahajan. When he was AWE in Ramban, he brought it to my knowledge that there was a huge amount of pipe which was available somewhere, जिसको किसी ने चोरी किया नहीं किया क्या किया एक जगह dumped. And he asked this question from me some 1 year back that what is to be done with regard to that. I said माल हमारा है बिल्कुल, मटेरियल हमारा है. उन्होंने बोला yes. उनके पास में उसका मार्किंग वगैरह जो मैंने कहा all right, go ahead, take it, use it. And I understand he did that. I happened to go to Tangnal scheme, and while on one of the lower jigs, I noticed the DI pipes lying just like that there. The reply to me by the chief engineer was at that point of time, Malhotra साहब थे शायद. Reply was हाँ सर इसको देखेंगे हम. वो अभी तक तो किसी ने नहीं देखा. Same was the reply when Tangnar plant को देखा जाए. It was in such a dirty shape. It's one of the most beautiful locations right next to the Jhelum, जहाँ से pumping होता है. It is in a terrible state of affairs. All the mechanical equipments dumped just like that. So on this particular thing, there was an instruction issued somewhere in December, January, that these dead stocks will be segregated in two categories. Serviceable, which can be repaired, can be used, separate category. Those which cannot be used, separate category. Those which cannot be used will be auctioned off by the committee, which is already in place. Those which can be made serviceable or are to be utilized are to be separately indicated. Now, this particular exercise should be completed within the next 7 days. Every exchange would do this. Anyway, अभी कुछ समय बाद में 2 अक्टूबर के पहले स्वच्छता सप्ताह आ रहा है. I wanted to do it previous स्वच्छता सप्ताह के समय, वो हम इस बार करेंगे. By that time, every premises of Jal Shakti department should have absolutely no muck lying there. Anything which is useless, not required, should be disposed of. And therefore, जो गवर्नमेंट का सिस्टम बना हुआ है उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की जरूरत है. उसको अगर आप करेंगे 7 दिन में कमेटीज अपनी रिपोर्ट देंगी, उसके बाद ऑप्शन होगा, सामान उठेगा, उसमें वही टाइम लग जाएगा जब तक हम 25 सितंबर के आसपास पहुंचेंगे. सो आई एक्सपेक्ट that if I keep 2nd October as the date on which every Jal Shakti premises will upload a photograph, or 7 days prior to that or 10 days prior to that, and say हमने स्वच्छता को अपनी जिंदगी में शामिल किया है. By keeping our office premises clean, spick and span, it will be a great achievement on our part. There are a large number of such kind of premises which are there, खासतौर पे PHE में, और same applies to irrigation. We need to do this. This is one. Secondly, जितनी भी सर्विसेबल चीजें हैं वो आपको MNR में सफिशिएंट पैसा मिलता है. उस MNR में जो पैसा मिलता है उससे आप उसको रिपेयर करके ठीक कर सकते. इसलिए आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू मेक श्योर कि अगर कोई सर्विसेबल है इस कमेटी के एनालिसिस में तो उनको सर्विसेबल बनाने के लिए क्या पैसा चाहिए वो एमएनआर से लीजिए, नहीं तो अदरवाइज मांगिए और उनको ठीक करके अपने पास में एज इन्वेंट्री में रख लीजिए. थर्ड पार्ट इज which is absolutely okay. The kind of example that I gave of Ramban, जिसमें कोई कमी नहीं है, पाइप पड़ा हुआ है, दूसरी चीजें पड़ी हुई है, पेमेंट किया जा चुका है. भाई आप पुलिस नहीं हो. पुलिस की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है कि चालान, अगर कोई व्हीकल का एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो उसको उनको रखना है. इसलिए रखना है ताकि वो कोर्ट में उस चीज को बता सके कि साहब ये व्हीकल जिस एक्सीडेंट हुआ. दिस नॉट ए रिक्वायरमेंट विद यू. आप कम से कम अपने प्रेमिसेस में जो सामान है, अगर वो किसी कॉन्टेक्चुअल डिस्प्यूट के कारण पड़ा हुआ है, उसको हटाना है, तो प्लीज फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज द प्रोसीजर व्हिच इज देयर. इफ यू हैव एनी सजेशंस टू मेक, डू इट. पीडब्ल्यूडी मैनुअल्स कुछ ना कुछ कहता होगा. Manoj, what does the PWD manual say with regard to any matter which is a contractual dispute and is lying in your premises?
सर देखना पड़ेगा मुझे अभी. I'm not aware.
Sir, it is
Anybody
to be
else would like to
auctioned.
volunteer? Any of the senior
it is-
guys whom I presume
it
must
is-
have read the PWD
Sir, it
manual?
is to be auctioned.
No. Suppose it is usable, then या
Sir,
contractual dispute के कारण.
sir, if it is usable, it has to be used at other place.
Agreed. But अगर contractual dispute के कारण से हमारे पास में पड़ा है और हमने इसलिए रखा हुआ है,
Sir, that
जब
is
dispute
not
हो
the
गया.
problem as far as rules and procedures are concerned. That is not the problem. We can shift the material, then we can recover it.
Anyway, so I'll leave this particular thing to all of you. The two
But
chief
the
engineers.
problem is if we waste something.
All right. The 4 chief engineers who are there, if they want to give any advice to the director of finance, they may do so. And please make sure that if you need any clarification from us, DJ मुझसे पूछिए. Otherwise, I'll request Manchanda ji and Manoj. एक इरिगेशन साइड के हैं, एक इस साइड के हैं, दोनों टुगेदर बनाएंगे कि आपको किस किस ढंग की क्लैरिटी चाहिए सबऑर्डिनेट स्टाफ को, उसको क्लियर करने के लिए क्या सर्कुलर इशू करना है, वो आप लोग जॉइंटली बना के इशू कर देंगे. ठीक है. दिस शुड इशू विद इन 7 days. मुझे दिखा लीजिए ड्राफ्ट, डीएफ को भी दिखा लीजिए. इशू इट इन 7 days. दिस अप्लाइज टू ऑल मैकेनिकल मशीनरी, ऑल अदर मशीनरी, so that whatever can be used is put to use. I came to your mechanical stores in Jammu. Sorry, not mechanical. The general stores is there in Jammu. And I was taken aback by the sheer amount of pumping material which was lying there. Why? Ordered in huge bulk. So let us move out from there. This is government's, this public's money. And today public is going to ask us for the way we are keeping this money. इसी जरा देख लीजिए, पुराने अगर इक्विपमेंट है तो नया खरीदना नहीं है जरूरी. देखिए क्या है, उसको यूज करिए. So JJM particularly will take note of this, and the 2 chief engineers will take note of this. They will specifically, once they inventorize within a period of 7 days, by 10th of September, they will exactly know which of the material which is in perfectly usable condition is lying in any of the stores which can be put to use anywhere. And they will then indicate that we will debit it from this particular thing, credit it in this scheme and use it. Is it clear? Mr. Manchanda, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Mr. Kohli, please make a note of this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Noted.
Yes. Very valid point. What else? I am realizing that this meeting is turning out to be
For your
fruitful.
information, we have already e-auction started the e-auction of Tangnar, sir, the unserviceable.
All right, please do that. If you
yes,
recall, Vivek, my purpose of asking you to clean up Tangnar was not to simply do it for ourselves, but my purpose was that I should be able to invite children after that.
Yes, sir.
Please, I remember when I was a child, I used to go to the water filtration plant. It used to be the most beautiful visit that I would take in my school bus. We don't offer this to our children these days. They think that water is coming from the tap, that's the end of the matter. We do not make them realize what kind of effort goes behind it. And at the same time, our structures are such that वहाँ गंदगी पड़ी होगी, कुछ और चीजें पड़ी होंगी. If we can make it a beautiful place where children can come, have a picnic, understand, get an idea of what supplying water means. It is not something that gets supplied for 50 paisa, it gets supplied for 10 rupees. Then that's the point which I would request that each one of us need to understand and make our premises clean. Good if you have done the e-auction. What else? Anybody else would like to say anything? Grateful to Irfan and Muzammil both. I hope somebody else from Jammu also contributes.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I would like to add one more point, sir. I may sound over ambitious. Please forgive me for that, sir. I'm
Yes.
just asking, can't we have a research wing in mechanical sites also? Like for PhD, we need to tinker with things so that we can come up with brighter ideas, with good ideas. We don't really have a research division Mechanical Research Division in PHE. So I am again saying I may sound over ambitious, but
No,
this is
it's all right. This point is something which my senior colleagues are actually aware of, is that we wanted to do a cadre restructuring, which got delayed for various reasons, partly because of my preoccupation also. And this included having our own design and development wing, which is inspection, whatever is called that design development and inspection wing, हमारी खुद की. तो हम बना लेंगे उसको, we'll make it. उसमें research is a part and parcel. But then I realized that there's another place which is ideally suited for taking up research activities. And Iftikhar Saab connected hain, and I had spoken to him about this, that if WARA, which is essentially the one which regulates everything which has to do with water in this UT, and he recently attended a conference on 21st. If we can not only make a presentation of WARA, that what are the kind of things, regulations which WARA has to do, but if a research cell can be established in WARA, I would be happy with that also. So this is the aspect which is a WIP, and I would like that we should reach a very valid point. Research is needed. Research is needed, and workshop series is actually a nucleus. For example, what Ajay Sharma did in that place in Jammu, or for somebody else has done somewhere else, या होकर सर गेट्स पे जैसे पाइल फाउंडेशन के थ्रू बनाए. Now all these things need to be documented. If you happen to visit some of the what are called the modern places for of marvel and to visit, जिसको pilgrimage की तरह देखा जाना चाहिए, जैसे भाखड़ा नांगल डैम है. If you go there, you will see that the entire construction of the dam from 1950s, when the political leaders, the prime minister, they used to go, and that entire construction is captured in photographs. In the similar fashion, we should have a place. For example, when Mr. Riyaz informed me that how do we ensure that despite of the harsh winters, our water supply continues. It is because the water is taken from the spring at a level which is below the point up to which the freezing will take place. Just an example. So I think we should definitely have a gallery of our own, a place which we. Iftikhar, would you like to respond to this?
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, sir, I'm very grateful to you for thinking so well about WARA. In fact, sir, when Mr. Jha became the chairman of WARA, the WARA at that time, it was known as JK SWARA. It was restructured, and many posts were created precisely with the purpose of starting these activities as you are instructing now. And notwithstanding the fact that we are not manned up to the optimum level, but still the mandate that was thought of at that point in time still remains intact. And I would be very, very happy to take your this vision forward. And I volunteer for this. I would request you to, I may be sending a proposal in due course of time for posting right kind of people in SWARA, so that the activities that you are foreseeing for WARA will be taken to their logical conclusion. I have absolutely no doubts about it that we can do a good job. We have a pool of very talented engineers across Jammu and Kashmir, and if we have the right people in the right place, we'll be able to do a good job. So let's have no doubts about it. And whatever mandate or whatever responsibilities are entrusted to WARA, we'll be very happy to discharge them.
I agree, and one does not need to actually be posted there. The nucleus and the people who facilitate everybody will be in WARA, but people in the field can actually take up projects. They get attached to it. They become the people who feed. And I would request, because हितेश आप connected हैं, because आप कार्डर रिव्यू को डील करते हैं और आपने बनाया भी है, तो मनोज को जरा ले लीजिए. वो डिजाइन डायरेक्टरेट में रहे, वो हमेशा बोलते भी कि मुझे रोज डिजाइन में लगा दीजिए, उनको कोई नहीं लगा रहा है, लेकिन मनोज इज देयर, knows it very well. He brings a wealth of information on this or procedures etc. कपूर साहब हैं, वो करें, और उसके साथ में 2-3 और लोग ज्वाइन करके let's quickly have some kind of a document available with us. इसको हितेश आप एंकर कर लीजिए, so that will help us take this entire process forward. One,
we will have
sir.
Yeah, continue. Sorry, sir. We will have a hybrid model. Sir, we'll have a hybrid model wherein we will have the core team of SWARA. We'll have people from the field, and we'll involve these private consultants also. Maybe we need to engage them, on some kind of maybe retainership or something else. But the prime thing that we have to kind of identify is to the areas that we are, we have to focus on in terms of research, as Irfan was suggesting. And I agree with Irfan to the extent that whatever DAQC in its old avatar was doing was primarily vetting of civil designs. There has not been much focus on, new technology with regard to mechanical equipments, or the vetting of design of mechanical equipments. And we need to bring in that mechanical aspect to our designs. And I think you would, on a lighter note, you would probably agree to the mechanical side, because you are a mechanical engineer, and your heart and soul is in mechanical engineering. Notwithstanding the
Well,
fact that we have had very long discussions in JKPDC about civil versus mechanical, and that apart, but we need to focus
no,
on mechanical, because there's a
after becoming
lot
the
of effort
secretary,
that
I don't have the after becoming the secretary of the department, I don't have the luxury to get into the versus business. It is civil and mechanical now. But yes, the point is well taken. And Irfan, thank you for this. And Hitesh, I know हम सब लोग busy हैं, but अगर हम इसको आपके पास anchor करके we can make a document that will really help. Okay. Any other points anybody would like to make?
Can I come in, sir?
Yes. कौन है?
I am Kirmani, sir.
किरमानी बताइए. जी जी जी.
Sir, I just want to share, because this is our privilege that you are the head of our this Jal Shakti department, sir. The problem that I have seen, sir, during my experience, during my service time, that for example, if anybody wants to go for a new development, कोई नया चीज करना चाहता है, sir, तो he is afraid, sir, कि God forbid अगर ये इसका नहीं चला तो कल उसको विजिलेंस वाले पीछे होते हैं और बाकी लोग पीछे, and nobody is there to support him. So, sir, I want, being, sir, you the head of the family, please give, sir, that security to the person who is doing that, who wants to do some innovation, but he feels insecure that God forbid if it fails, he will be in soup.
Sir,
So
that
the
is
best way Kirmani is exactly what Muzammil suggested some time back. He talked about the presentation having a review committee, peer review. Presentation to be peer reviewed before it is presented before the entire group. In the same fashion, if I have this research cell available with us and somebody comes up with an idea, and a research cell which is supposed to be equipped enough to look at the idea, understand and cross question, and then vet and certify, all right, this is doable, let us try. Then I think the person who wants to be creative, wants to come up with a new solution, will feel safe enough that this has been vetted technically by other people and would not be held responsible for this. किरमानी जी, मैं आपको एक बात क्लैरिफाई करता हूँ. एसीबी क्या करेगी उसके बारे में मैं कभी कुछ नहीं कह सकता, लेकिन मैं अपने सिस्टम्स को इस ढंग का बना सकता हूँ दैट कोई भी आके देखे कोई फर्क नहीं.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you.
I think this point can be taken care of, Hitesh, in the very same setup. In fact, we can start a process where people taking up research activities will be, I'll be very happy. Recently एक आया था कि कहीं से जिसमें 2 साल का MBA था फाइनेंस का. The initial record that I got from my secretariat में ये था कि साहब हमारा कोई अफसर इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है, वो कहीं से आ गया लिख के, मैं नहीं बोलूंगा किसने लिख के भेजा, कोई नहीं इंटरेस्टेड. मैंने कहा आपने पूछा सबको? बोला नहीं साहब, पूछा तो नहीं है पर कोई इंटरेस्टेड नहीं होगा, हमारे से इसका लेना देना नहीं है. I have done my MBA, I have done a part-time MBA. Why should I, as an administrator, I should be bothered about it then? The question is very simple. Why after doing mechanical engineering I should be here? This is a problem of our own mindset. And that is why then I got that particular NIFM ka tha ya kahin ka tha circulated to everybody in the department. That would anybody like to go for this 2 years finance course? I'm sorry to say nobody came forward. It could be a wrong department where I circulated. I circulated in Jal Shakti. It could be that none of you are interested. All right. But recently also, 5 courses आए, मैंने उसको सर्कुलेट किया चीफ इंजीनियर्स को. चीफ इंजीनियर्स ने अपनी तरफ से नाम दे दिए, मैंने भेज दिया उनको, आगे भी भेज दिया, so that those officers can become my resource persons. But I would request that this capacity building cell needs to identify courses across. और यहाँ जितने लोग connected हैं मैं उनको कह रहा हूँ, if they want to engage in a particular course, which is not meant to run away from the departmental responsibilities, but to become an expert and come back to us, or not necessarily come back to us, be available to the entire UT or to the entire country, I'll most welcome them. I remember there was a gentleman called Farooq. Now, I don't know if Tikar Sahab wo kahan hai. He was in PDC and he went to, I think, Norway or Sweden or someplace
Iceland,
in
Iceland,
geothermal.
Iceland, sir.
Iceland. All right.
Yes.
So he is somebody who has gone in a particular direction. Any of you who are interested in any
Sir,
of the courses you want,
Sir, Farooq
yes,
Farooq has worked tirelessly for completion of Thrall Stage 3rd. He was there.
Okay.
He was there.
Okay. Wonderful. So my request to all of you would be that we should identify courses which can bring experts to us, expertise to us. I am perfectly willing. You must have seen I am refusing study leave cases. Why? Because I find study leave to become a way of sitting at home and doing nothing. So if somebody is not interested in that, but going and enhancing their qualifications so that they come back or they become useful to the country as a whole, they're most welcome. It is in this context that I wanted to mention. Anyway, so this capacity building cell is expected to also become a nucleus for that. Capacity building of the people. That is why you are the nucleus for that. Any other issues? Thank you, Kirmani.
Sir, may I add?
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
जी
Sir,
जी बताएं थोड़ा जोर से बोले
Sir, there is a problem in the department in respect of mechanical engineering. We don't have any institutional memory in the department. Has been a mistake in 2008 while segregating the
आपकी
PWD
आवाज
and
बहुत
R&D.
कम आ रही है. Unless and until you speak loudly, we can't hear you.
Sir, is it clear?
हाँ बोलिए.
There is a problem in the department. We don't have institutional memory in mechanical engineering. So we need to, at department level, we need to dispense with borrowing engineers from R&B. It is basically the
I
job
can't
of
hear you, Muzammil. आप अपना सजेशन लिख के भेजिए. पता नहीं आपके माइक पे प्रॉब्लम है. I can't hear you. All right, कोई बात नहीं. You take up this matter separately. भेजिए हितेश को भेजिए. हितेश, just look at what the issue is. All right. Anybody else would like to say anything? Well, grateful to all of you to join. And do instructions, attendance compulsory. Hitesh, explanation calls in case somebody is not present is must. I again repeat, I'm sorry to say these last words, but the fact remains that we all have a responsibility. I always say that as government officials, we are fortunate. At the time of COVID, we had the support of our colleagues. The time of COVID, our houses were not the ones which are on the shoestring. Private sector was. And therefore, rather than cribbing about कि हमें कितना मिलता है नहीं मिलता है, ऊपर से कौन क्या बोलता है, टाइमलाइंस होती है, फालतू के फॉर्म्स बनाते हैं वगैरह वगैरह. Rather than cribbing about that, let's be grateful and continue to do whatever we are doing with a full sense of responsibility. Thank you. Riaz, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. All the directions have been noted, sir. We will follow it up, especially sir the attendance aspect about the director, sir. वो चीज़ भी हम देख लेंगे, sir. Although we are sir recording the attendance, वो सारा मेरे पास record है of all the meetings, sir. जो भी workshops हो गए, sir. तो बाकी सर आगे भी अगर आज के जो एब्सेंटीज हैं सर वी विल ब्रिंग इट इनटू ए नोटिस सर. मैं हितेश सर को भी भेज दूंगा सर.
मिनट्स जरूर निकालिए प्लीज क्विकली और
Yes,
अभी
sir.
वालों उनको सर्कुलेट कर दीजिए.
राइट सर.
ओके.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी.
थैंक यू सर.
हमारे पास